Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Sunday, March 27, 2022. The sun is in Aries. It's the beginning of spring, friends. There's a feeling of excited anticipation in the air, especially on the warm days. We enjoy the sense of initiative we feel. The sunlight charges our batteries and gets us moving out into the world, there to plan, to strategize, to act, and then to celebrate the culmination like a conqueror. In Aries, we focus our power and attention toward putting ideas in motion. Chiron is also transiting Aries right now, and Chiron in Aries invites us to mend our sense of belonging in the world. That's Chiron right there. Especially in our outer lives at this time, we can use the initiative we feel to let go of past hurts and find solutions that will allow us to feel like we truly belong in our work, social, and civic spaces. And Mercury joins the Sun and Chiron in Aries today. We'll talk about that in a minute. The moon is in Aquarius all day today, adding a positive urge to connect with others in our outer lives. The waning crescent invites us to shed the things that don't serve us. Perhaps it's a good time to get the stuff organized for that yard sale with a little help from our friends, or to take up a collection of socks and shoes for people who need them. In a few more days, we'll reach that new moon in Aries, which will be the real time to create the plan going forward. I know it's hard for some of us to wait to get started right now, but this is the anticipatory vibe of early spring. Good timing and flexibility are required of us these days. Let the limbering up begin. Okay, I'm going to get right into the aspects, but I first want to remind you all that there is this beautiful handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols have made it into the key, so if you need a reference, it's right here. I have divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This has to do with who we are on the inside, our relationship with ourselves, and how it feels to be in our own body, heart, and mind, and also who we are in our home space. The moon moves very quickly, and the aspects and transits it makes are brief. They represent subtle energies that may affect what we think, feel, know, and intuit. That stuff that happens in the inner life, but which we may or may not choose to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives, and this has to do with who we are and how we show up in our work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the other planetary aspects and transits on this side of the page because they have more of an impact on how we interact with the rest of the world. And we begin on the sun side of the page today, friends. Central Standard Time at 2:44 a.m. Mercury makes ingress to Aries. So Mercury has been transiting Pisces the last couple of weeks, adding imagination and a colorful swirl to our thoughts, plans, and communications. This is great because we can all use a dash of inspiration to lively up our ideas and conversations, but it comes at a price. You may have found that your plans and interactions are less direct and perhaps a little indecisive. Mercury in Aries is here to help us out. At this time, the intellect becomes bold, direct, and focused on whatever inspires forward motion. The drawback may be a lack of compassion, remembering to think before we say something abrasive. What we gain is the ability to communicate with others exactly what they can do to help us put our plans in motion. So that's Mercury, that's Aries, and this is the moment of transition right here at 2:44 a.m. where Mercury moves out of Pisces and Aries. We come right back down to Earth, and it's all about the fire and the spark and a direct forward approach to our thoughts, plans, and communications. So say what you think and then do what you say. You almost won't be able to help it, I'll bet. Then the sun makes a sextile with the moon at 7:34 a.m. This is a brief aspect. It lasts about a day. The sun sextile the moon says that the outer life is cooperative, working together with the inner life. It's a moment of good alignment for trying to create something good. It also indicates this sort of almost halfway point between the third quarter moon and the new moon. In the ongoing column, Mars square Uranus will be with us for a few more days. I think this one's with us through the 31st. And this one's with us through the 30th. So Mars square Uranus serves as a warning that we may be feeling somewhat frustrated and impulsive and ready to act, as in ready to act out. Mars sextile Chiron also here for a few days. This is our sense of initiative in a cooperative vibe with the asteroid that represents our personal healing. So perhaps it can serve as a buffer to help us with any impulsive behavior that comes up. It is a good time to be honest with ourselves about our reasons for being in a hurry or our reasons for being frustrated, so that we can sort of mend that frustration, because it's not fun to be frustrated. And speaking of being honest with ourselves, this is day 2 of 3 for Mercury sextile Pluto. This one will be with us just through tomorrow. The intellect working together with transformative energies. That's cooperative. The intellect, transformative energies, and a cooperative vibration. Our thoughts, plans, and conversations can be transformative at this time. Our discernment is all the way on to help us know what glitter is from gold. Mercury sextile Pluto says the truth will come out. So I anticipate finding out some truth today and tomorrow. I got some truth from somebody today, in fact. A little truth nobody wanted to say, but they did. On the moon side of the page, we have a couple of interesting aspects. At 5:38 p.m., the moon runs square to Uranus. This is another warning against impulsivity, especially at home or in your heart. We may entertain an impulse to do something differently at this time, but the advice is to stick to the plan or face challenges. Challenges, inner life, and impulsivity or change. And then at 12:08 in the morning, Monday morning, the moon makes a conjunct with Mars. Now, this is a phenomenon you may be able to go outside and see. Type moon and Mars conjunct into your browser bar and click the link for inthesky.org, because I got instructions on when and where I could go see it from where I live. Conjunct means they're in the same place in the sky, in our sky at the same time, and the vibration tends to amplify the energies of both planets. In this case, our home and our inner life vibes are magnified with initiative vibes. This can represent a fresh beginning or a real change of heart. Interesting to me that it happens right around midnight. That would be an interesting time to engage in some energy work, some spirit work, some ritual, especially if it's something that you're trying to bond to, or if it's something that you're trying to initiate, something you want to get started on. That would be a good time. Tomorrow, Venus makes conjunct with Saturn. Oh, I didn't put that up there. I put Mercury sextile Pluto, but we're already in that. What we're going to have tomorrow is Venus in a conjunct with Saturn. And we will begin to get our affairs in order with that business. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Thursday, there will be a new moon in Aries, and we'll begin to make our plans and strategies toward global domination. And then next Friday and Saturday, we'll have 3 planets conjunct one another. It's a party in Aries. Don't forget your box of matches, friends. Fire extinguishers will not be provided. Okay, that's it for today's astrology. Friends, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments section below. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notifications bell. I post every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. Now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk to Ro. We're going to discuss the card that sits on the side of the page, and then we'll do a quick rundown of the aspects and throw a card to speak to the day's energies. So the card on the side of the page is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands relates directly to the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Aries. So we're at the beginning of the zodiac year. We're at the beginning of the first fire sign, and we're at the beginning of the fire element's suit in the tarot deck, okay? And the Two of Wands, this is really about having what do I want to say? That inner resource that helps you mold reality around you. And we all do this, whether we realize it or not. You know, when whatever we want to make of something, it's usually going to be that way. If we want to make something out to be terrible, then it's often terrible. And if we want to make something out to be great, then often it turns out great. But it's more than that. Is really having ideas and having inspiration and making a plan, discovering within ourselves the will to move forward from just thinking about things to doing them. Okay, so at this point, like I said, with the sun in Aries, vision is transformed into progress. Okay, what we want, what we desire, what we would like to pursue. You know, it's out there, it's before us, it's available to us. If we want to go out and get it, we can. And so all we have to do is take that inner drive, that initiative, that fire, that spark, that inspiration, and you know, speak it to life. Literally, you can speak things to life right now. For real, you can speak things to life right now. So whatever it is that you want to get started, this is really always an auspicious time of year to try to get things started. The sun is newly, you know, the days are newly longer than the nights. And it's just going to get warmer from here, and our days are going to be longer and brighter from here. We're going to have a lot of time and a lot of energy to pursue that which we desire, that which we think we can make real. Okay, so great manifestation card, that one. I love it. And now I'm going to shuffle my cards a little bit here while I remind myself and my cards that the sun is in Aries, and so are Chiron and Mercury. So we've got, you know, our outer life, we've got our conscious focus in Aries, which is, you know, initiative and action and being bold and courageous, you know, strategizing, moving forward. And then, you know, Chiron in Aries is about your sense of personal identity and how you feel like you fit into the world. And Mercury in Aries is just about being really direct when you're with your communications and your planning. You know, like you can sort of just see you can sort of envision the fastest road from point A to point B, and you can just take initiative to make it happen. It's a really beautiful placement for Mercury, I think. And then the moon side of the page, we have waning crescent moon. We're in the release phase, getting rid of stuff phase, and the moon is in Aquarius, so you know, that involves somehow our community, our networking, our allies. So maybe it's time to go through your list of allies and see who you want to let go of. But it's also about reaching out to allies. So, you know, like if you have something and you need to let go of it and you know it has value to somebody else, it might be a good time just to reach out to a friend and say, hey, do you know anybody who can use this thing or these things or this whole pile of things that I have? All right, and then Mercury in Aries, sun sextile moon, that's just really good personal alignment. Outer and inner life are cooperating together so you can generate a good outcome for yourself today. And then Mars square Uranus, frustration, impulsiveness. Mars sextile Chiron, be honest with yourself about why you're frustrated and impulsive so that you can get better about it. Because, you know, we it's okay to act on impulse. It's not like it's never okay to act on impulse, but you know, we have to think about the consequences of our actions before we do them. Mercury sextile Pluto, the truth will be told, friends, and our discernment is all the way on. So even if somebody is lying to us, we are going to know the truth. we're going to know that we're being lied to as well. So we're going to be able to separate what glitters from what is true gold, and that way we will know, the truth will out. The moon square Uranus, stick to the plan, Stan, and the moon conjunct Mars. Those are some pretty strong, maybe difficult vibes in the evening with that moon square Uranus. But, again, just do what makes you feel secure at this time. Mars is still very heavily affected by Saturn right now. And Pluto is very heavily affected by Saturn right now. And Venus is not on the page today for the first time in a long time, but Saturn is still in the game here, friends, is what I'm trying to say. So whatever brings you stability, whatever makes you feel secure at this time, whatever you planned to do, let's go ahead and do that. And then that moon conjunct Mars, yeah, initiative from the heart and in the home. So if you're up in the middle of the night and you want to make some sort of start on something, it's probably actually a pretty good time. And with that said, turn over this card. Oh, look at that! We got the Two of Wands, guys. It's the same card. Okay, so obviously different decks. This is a regular Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and this is the Two of Rods from the David Palladini deck. He has a lily and a rose on his shoulder here. He has a lily and a rose there on the turret that he's standing next to. They both hold a globe of one sort or another, beholding the matter, beholding the material in which they can make their designs come true. That's what Labyrinthos said about that. So, wands to me, again, wands are fire, and this is a fresh start. It is a new beginning, but it's not just like, hey, I have an idea. It's really like, yeah, I have a couple of ideas, and I've also made a couple of accomplishments, and now I know what I can do with the resources I behold. So my plans are getting really big. I'm really looking out into the world. I'm really thinking about my global domination. And when I talk about global domination, I'm just saying everybody has their ideal for their life. It might not include, like militarily dominating the globe, but, feeling so at home on the globe that you feel like you own it, that would not be too bad, right? So, yes, initiative, planning, discovery, fresh start, and growth, right? And strength here. So, be proud of what you've achieved so far and understand the position that you're in. We're in a position really to expand our personal empires at this time, just through that inner resource of fire, of initiative, of spark. Okay, that desire, for lack of a better word, but desire is another one of those fiery resources that comes from within and that pulls us forward and out into the world and helps us see what we can do with ourselves. So that's a very positive card for me. And, here's to fresh starts, friends. Cheers. All right, I believe that's all I have to say about that today. So thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate the heck out of y'all. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.